Two coworkers get their bonus on the same Friday afternoon. Same company, same role, same exact amount landing in their account. $4,000. Priya opens her brokerage app before she even leaves the parking lot and buys shares in whatever's trending that week. Tom does something almost insulting in how boring it is. He moves his money through 4 accounts in a specific order and closes his laptop. Doesn't think about it again for years. 6 years later, Tom is sitting on roughly $60,000 more than Priya. Same bonus, same raises, same market. He never once picked a better stock than she did. He just moved his dollars in a different order. That order is what this video is actually about, not what to buy, where to put it first, second, third, and why getting that sequence wrong quietly costs people more than a bad stock ever could. I'm going to walk you through the exact order with the real 2026 numbers, and at the end, I'll show you exactly where Priya's 60 grand went. Quick disclaimer before we start. I'm not your financial advisor. This isn't personalized advice. This is the general framework with real numbers attached, so you understand why each step sits where it sits. Think of your money like water, and each account is a bucket stacked below the last one. You fill the highest one first. Only when it overflows does it spill down to the next. Guaranteed money beats hoped-for money. Tax-free beats taxed. That's the whole rule. Let's pour. Step 1 isn't really investing. It's a small cash buffer, somewhere around $1,000 to $2,000, sitting in a savings account, doing nothing exciting at all. Here's why it goes first. Life throws bills at you. The car makes a noise, the fridge dies in July. If you've got nothing between you and that bill, you reach for a credit card, and you've just walked into a 20% interest rate to solve a $500 problem. That little buffer isn't there to grow. It's there so one bad week doesn't undo 6 months of progress. Step 2 is the best deal you'll ever be offered, and a shocking number of people walk right past it. Your employer's 401k match. If your job offers a 50% match on the first 6% you contribute, that's a 50% return the second the money lands, before the market does anything at all. There is no investment on earth that reliably does that. Contribute enough to grab every dollar of the match. Not more yet, just enough to get all of it. If you skip this step, you're not being cautious, you're declining free money because you never adjusted a slider. Step 3, and this is where people get emotional. Kill your high-interest debt. Paying off a credit card charging you 22% is a guaranteed, risk-free, tax-free 22% return. Nothing in the stock market offers that combination. Where's the line? Anything meaningfully above what you could reasonably expect the market to earn you, so somewhere around 7 or 8% and up. Credit cards, easily. A personal loan at 11, still yes. Below that line in the 4 to 7% zone, it gets genuinely debatable, and we'll come back to that. You can use the avalanche method, highest rate first, which saves the most money mathematically, or the snowball, smallest balance first, which gets you an early win that keeps you going. The math says avalanche. Your psychology decides which one you'll actually finish. A strategy you abandon in month 3 isn't a strategy. Step 4. Now you build the real emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Notice it comes after the debt, not before. Sitting on 6 months of cash while a card charges you 22% is just paying for the feeling of safety while actually losing money. Stop the bleeding first, then build the fortress. And this is genuinely a nicer job in 2026 than it used to be, because a good high-yield savings account is paying you close to 4% just for parking money there. 4 buckets down. Notice something? Every single one of those was defense. We stopped the bleeding, built the wall, secured the base. None of it was exciting. All of it was load-bearing. Everything from here on is offense. Step 5 is the account almost nobody uses correctly. The HSA. If you're on a high-deductible health plan, this is legally the only triple tax-advantaged account that exists. Money goes in tax-deductible, it grows completely tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical expenses. In 2026, you can put in up to $4,400 as an individual, or $8,750 for a family. Here's the move almost nobody makes. Pay your current medical bills out of pocket if you can afford to. Keep the receipt, and let the HSA money sit and invest untouched for decades. There's no deadline to reimburse yourself. Some people literally hold on to old receipts for years and cash them in tax-free whenever they want. It turns a bucket everyone treats like a checking account for Band-Aids into one of the best retirement accounts in the entire tax code. Step 6. The Roth IRA. The one darling of the internet that actually deserves the hype. You put in money you've already paid tax on, it grows for decades, and it comes out completely tax-free, contributions and every dollar of growth. In 2026, you can put in $7,500 or $8,600 if you're 50 or older. There's an income cutoff. If you're single, it phases out between roughly $153,000 and $168,000. For married couples, it's between $242 and $252. Cross the top of that, and there's still a legal side door called the backdoor Roth. Worth knowing exists, even if we don't unpack the mechanics here. The Roth versus traditional question comes down to one thing. Do you expect to be in a lower tax bracket now or in retirement? Lower now, go Roth, lock in the cheap rate. Higher now, the traditional deduction is worth more today. Step 7. We go back and finish maxing the 401k. Remember, back at step 2, we only put in enough to grab the match, and then walked away to handle the other buckets. Now we come back and fill the rest of it up to the 2026 limit, which is $24,500. If you're 50 or older, you can add an extra $8,000. And if you're between 60 and 63 specifically, there's a bigger catch-up of $11,250 instead. One wrinkle worth knowing. If you earned over $150,000 last year, new rules mean your catch-up contributions have to go in as Roth, after tax, not pre-tax. Check your plan. Step 8. The taxable brokerage account. Last in line, and this is the account most people, Priya included, want to start with. It's last because it's the least tax efficient. You get taxed on dividends along the way and on your gains when you sell, but it's not a bad account. It's just an unprotected one, and it has one real superpower none of the retirement accounts have. No age restrictions, no penalty for touching it at 35. The retirement accounts buy your old age. This one buys your freedom before that. So here's the $60,000 question. Where did it actually come from? Let's run the same $4,000 bonus through both of their choices for one single year and watch what happens. Tom's $4,000 goes to work in order. Say his company matches 50% up to 6%. He was already contributing enough through his paycheck to grab the full match, so that $4,000 bonus first tops off his HSA, letting it invest untouched. Then it fills more of his Roth IRA. Whatever's left flows back to top off his 401k. Every single dollar landed somewhere, the government either matches it, never taxes it, or taxes it later on better terms. Priya's $4,000 goes straight into a taxable brokerage account, buying whatever's trending, while she's still carrying a credit card balance from the holidays. Same amount, same market, same 6 years passing. One of them got a guaranteed match on part of that money, tax-free growth on another part, and tax-free growth on a third part. The other got a 1099 and interest charges eating into the rest. That's not one lucky trade. That's the order compounding quietly, invisibly, every single year, until 6 years later it's $60,000 sitting in the gap between them. Now, a fair question. What if you're carrying debt below that 7 or 8% line, a car loan at 4%, a mortgage at 3%? The honest answer is the math usually favors investing over paying it off early, because your money likely earns more in the market than that loan costs you. But if you'd sleep better with zero debt to your name, that peace of mind has real value no spreadsheet captures. Just make that choice knowingly, after the buckets above it are handled, not instead of them. And if none of this feels like it applies to you yet, because you're nowhere near maxing a 401k, good, that's most people. You don't need all 8 steps. If all you ever do is grab your full match and kill your credit card debt, you've already captured the 2 highest returns that exist in personal finance. There's no failure in stopping at step 3. There's only a real cost to skipping step 3 so you can chase step 8, which is exactly what Priya did every single Friday for 6 years. So here's the one thing to actually do today. Not someday. Find out what your employer's match formula actually is and go grab every dollar of it. Then look at your highest interest debt and start a fight with it. That's it. That's steps 2 and 3. and they pay more than anything else in this entire video combined. 10 years from now, you're either the person who moved $4,000 into a taxable account on a Friday afternoon, or the one who moved it through the buckets in order and forgot about it. Same bonus, same market, completely different number waiting on the other end. The order was always the whole game.